to the BEAM&Flow podcast. This is a nitty-gritty exploration of your body, energy, awareness, movement, and flow. I'm your host, Chloé CPA. I'm a proudly Latina curandera, or a healer, and an embodiment coach, guiding spirit-led rebels to their richest lives. Living rich requires more than financial formulas. It requires embodied wealth. Your richest life is a result of discipline and devotion in all areas, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. This show is a combination of interviews, live embodiment coaching calls, and solo episodes, each designed to inspire your integration. We are not offering legal, tax, financial, or medical advice, and any opinions offered are for purely educational and entertainment purposes. Let's take the spiritual and make it practical. Ready? Lista? Let's go! Welcome, Millie, to the second episode I recorded in the new home studio here in the attic. And yeah, I'm really excited that you're here and that you were willing to get some coaching on air today.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great environment. Thank you for saging. Thank you for prepping it. I feel, really, really open to just having this workshop with you. I'm excited.
Awesome. Great. Well, so let's just kind of give the audience a little background on who you are, because I know you very well, but they don't. And so whatever you want to share, that's going to be good context for what you want to explore today.
Okay. So where I'm at right now is it's a big life event. It's a huge crossroad. There's so many learnings in my past. I have 15 years of corporate experience in broadcast news, so that's hard. That's hard breaking news. I'm a creative. I've led the Today Show team for numerous years, over a decade of my corporate career, and it's an accomplishment, but I know it's also taken a toll on me. And 2019, I parted ways and decided to start my own motion design studio. And it was pretty amazing when I first ventured out. And I almost want to say it's like, you get that energy where you're just like, time for change, right? Time for change. We're going to do this. Things start happening in that direction that you want to go in when it seems like the right thing. So that's what happened for me. And I was able to make a team, an international team of women designers, women producers, and project coordinators. And it was amazing. I got to do everything that I was limited to in a corporate environment, and really put my values up on, make it a priority, in every aspect of our operations, our hiring processes, how we supported each other, the holistic environment that I created. So leadership wise, I love it. I love mentoring. I love, sharing my life experience so that somebody gets a stepping stone and can catapult off me and make it higher, and then turn around and help the next person up. So that's definitely, I know that that's my purpose, my mission. It's the business sense that sometimes competes, or I've been learning to work with that and work with my heart and my soul and my mind and all of that. So I'm at a crossroad now, post-divorce. Officially got divorced last year, bought him out of the house, so I was a whole sole homeowner. And now, my company isn't doing as prosperous as it was. I had to downsize drastically last year. In finalizing all this, divorce transactions, and coming at it from a stance that I was the primary breadwinner in my household, so it was a lot, and it kind of was like the tsunami that leveled everything out. you know, and now I'm looking at the foundations and I'm like, all right, how do I rebuild? How do I rebuild smarter, with the knowledge that I know, you know, also understanding that there's a strategy to all of this, you know, and sometimes I get blinded by my own purpose in a way, and the business strategy like falls out of the way, or something doesn't align, like something hasn't been aligning. Mm-hmm. And it's been a big season of pulling back and kind of reassessing and healing, and now we're putting the house out on the market, so it's a solution, right? It's also, I feel like it's a declaration of unsubscribing from the American dream. You know, and just being like that. For a long time, that was my dream. You know, I'm first generation. My parents are immigrants in this country. My dad bought his first house in Queens and then another one in Westchester. And it was something that was like, you get a job, you get that 401k, you get a house. As soon as I got the big corporate job, I got a house and started paying every dime that I made into that house for what, the next 30 years? Like, my God, I'm done. I'm done with that. And it's taken a lot of realization, but also deprogramming, you know, and looking at my own programming and being like, is that serving me anymore? You know, like, what is the path that I'm supposed to carve out now? You know, now that I've seen that this isn't working for me, you know, that's not the lifestyle I want to live. I want to be able to have my money invested how I want it, and also prioritize life moments. My kids are 6 and 10. I want to enjoy them now. I want to travel with them now and influence them in their life, you know, and my mom's 83. So I want to be able to take her back to her homeland and relax, you know, and that takes breaking from the fact that I'm gonna wait till I retire, right? In any way, like, so there's a lot of movement happening, and that's why I welcome the perspective. You know, I think in these times of big change is when we need to hear from others, you know, well, how do you see it? How would you do it? Chloé, I know that you're divorced too, and you went through your own journey with that, and and I love that because you've walked in my shoes of what that takes, you know, and also taking it with a grain of salt that this just happened last year, and there's a lot of change, you know, and I'm trying to remain open to receiving, you know, and just being conscious with my decisions and making sure that I'm not shortchanging myself because of some old programming I might have running that's still hanging on, that I'm like, no, we're cleaning house and we're cleaning house, you know, like, there's going to be no stone unturned with this, you know, change and opportunity that's come my way. So I'm very excited for this.
Awesome. So you said so much that I want to kind of unpack a few things that you brought up. I'll start with the divorce journey, and while it's going to be different for you than it was for me, you bring up a really good point. It's been a year, and a profound year. I've seen so much change and growth in you. I've been able to witness that as your friend, and it's the first of many years, right? And so I had this kind of, I've had this moment a few times this year, but it came up again last night in conversation, where this is 7 years since I've been divorced this year. And your cells regenerate every 7 years. Like, I mean, different cells in your body regenerate at different times, but the entirety of your body has regenerated every 7 years. So that means there is not a single cell left in my body that was there when I was married. This is a completely physically, spiritually, subatomically new Chloé, right? And you're in that process. So in year one, what cells are shedding, right? Like, what cells are dying off? What's being reborn in year one?
You know, you sharing, it gives me such visuals. You know, I'm just like, oh my God, that makes so much sense for me right now. Just hearing your share. And definitely for me, I just lost what I was going to say, but go back to what you were saying.
Basically just that we're all, you know, I'm cellularly a different person than I was 7 years ago.
That's what
when I was married.
Yes. So it's like, I feel when I left NBC after being there for so long, 15 years, that's a marriage. That was like my first divorce. I remember leaving abruptly because, you know, HR, they love to give you that surprise where it's like, we're eliminating your position. Nothing to do with the fact that you went out on maternity leave less than a year ago, or the fact that, you know, your clients are super happy with you, but we want to take control. So that happened, and NBC Millie died, right? Like, I remember getting flowers and letters from colleagues, and the numerous producers I had worked with over the years said from one day to another, I wasn't there anymore. So people started catching on, and I started getting all of these, you know, notes and letters on like, thank you so much. You've been amazing. I can't, you know, I wish you the best of luck and whatnot. And I feel like right now with the house, I'm shutting that era down. And I want to be very conscious of it, you know, spiritually, energetically. And I want to invite an energy worker to help us release that and leave it there and maintain all that good from it. And I think those things are very important to me on my journey, as I've learned all these additional tools that we all have at our disposal, but we choose to use or not use. And I've opened portals, not only for me, but for my family. And sometimes it's uncomfortable. And I get it. And I'm like, but I can't help but be who I am. So you got to be on this ride with me. And that's what I've come to terms with a lot of my life, even with friendships. You know, I'm like, this is what I'm about. Like, I'm about the good. You know, I'm about what we can do. Don't tell me what we can't do, and don't tell me the 1,000,001 excuses. What can we do now? That happened. Oh, sorry about yesterday. Great, we're here. You know, like, all we have is tomorrow.
All we have is right now.
Yes.
We're not even guaranteed tomorrow.
We're not. So selling this house is going to be packing away those early bearing years, you know, of me home birthing my children, raising them, keeping them nested in a safe area. And now they're aware, they're more emotionally mature, and I want to show them the world. You know, your home is where our hearts are. And the world is bigger than New York, than Westchester, than the United States, than South America, than Europe, than, you know, like, I want them to enjoy, devour this world, you know, like, travel, go meet different cultures, like, have that experience that you only get to do once in a lifetime. And they're just starting, and I'm their chosen guide. So I am going to pass down all the good information to them and my little nieces and nephews, you know, so that they can be on a different frequency.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I would love to, I want to pick up one other thing you said in the beginning, and then I'm going to ask you a question. So you said that you are really in a place where you want to get the business picked back up, and you feel like sometimes you are so in the purpose of it that you miss the strategy, if I'm hearing that right, of the execution of the business.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear that, what comes up for me is you are so in your feminine and so in the experience of your purpose, which is beautiful. And it makes sense. You're just coming out of a divorce, right? There's still some work to do in terms of integrating the masculine into your life, right? Because the healthy, healed, sacred masculine, because we have both, and to operate at our most expanded frequency, it's to harness both, to play with both. And it was my experience for sure that I had to heal a lot around the masculine before I could actually integrate that into my life and the business and all of the ways that I'm now embodied in both. And so what comes up for you when I say maybe there's some work to do around embodying your sacred masculine?
I think absolutely. I'm not opposed to it. I think I do work from the feminine a lot, and I see the masculine come out. It's come out a lot in my life in situations that maybe I haven't been the best at, but it was designated to be my role. Like I was a financial advisor in my household. I was the finance keeper, the tax doer. I'm like, I don't know if I'm like the best for this, but I'll do my best at it. But it's looking at it in that way that's kept me from progressing more. So, and it's all here, totally. Like it's all, I can't make the business shine the way it was before because I'm not shining the way I was before, right? Because I'm going through stuff and I'm clarifying and I'm trying to see where I need to strengthen. Like where do I need to flex that muscle because I feel it. I feel like, what is this that you don't think you're good at finance? What is this? You haven't been good at finance because you haven't had finances to manage. It's been a tough road. There's been a lot of marital debt. What am I expecting to make magic? So I'm trying to look at it and look at myself and be like, you know what? Now is when you're going to flex. Your masculine ability to oversee with an eye of certainty and kind of like that male bravado a little bit, like I need some of that ego sometimes. It's just like, absolutely. I got this shit.
Absolutely.
I'm getting this abundance. I know how to divvy it up. I'm going to talk to the right people. I'm going to inform myself so that I am setting myself up for success. Absolutely. And feeling like I'm doing it. So again, it's all here, yeah. Right? It's all on like the practice, the ritual, the clearing out so that we can get back to that that space. And it's real, and it just takes work. It takes work, and it's not gonna be instantaneous. It's like things need to play out. Yeah,
it's a process. We are in process.
Yes.
Did I mention to you before the Quadrant exercise of figuring out where to get support? Did I have you do that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I brought this up with Sakina on the previous episode. I love this. I did not invent this. This is well known. So you can, basically you're going to write out every aspect of what has to be done in your business. Everything. Accounting, social media management, hiring producers, writing content, getting camera equipment, like literally everything that you need to do for your business. And then you have a quadrant that you have. One box is, I love it and I'm great at it. The next one is, I love it, but I suck at it. And then it's, I hate it, but I'm really good at it. And I hate it, and I'm just not great at it. So when you list everything out, and then you start putting them in the quadrants. And anything that is in the quadrant of I hate it and I'm not great at it, immediately hire somebody to do it.
Oh, wow.
Immediately. Take it off your plate and start focusing on, because that's...
I spoke to Nonso.
Okay, so Nonso is my CPA. I highly recommend her. She's going to be getting a lot of work, I'm pretty sure.
And do you want to tell them why I didn't want to call her? The laziness of why I didn't want to call her?
Well, if I'm remembering correctly, it's that you had a CPA that you have used for a very long time, but they hadn't told you some of the stuff that I was sharing with you, and I'm not even an expert. And there's a preface to all of these episodes. There's no financial advice, wellness, health advice, legal advice. I'm not giving any advice. This is purely entertainment purposes. Anyway, Nonso you can get financial advice from. And she's an amazing CPA. Yeah. And from a strategy perspective, this actually builds off of what I was talking to Sakina about. 7 years ago, I opened a sole proprietorship, and I started trying to deduct everything in my life from whatever I was making. But I did not have an actual CPA. I was going to... what's the
TurboTax?
Not TurboTax, the other one, H&R Block.
Yeah.
There we go, H&R Block. And they were like, oh no, you can't. No. And I was like, I know that I can. Like, something's off. So last year I had actually made quite a bit on W-2 income because of contract roles that I got. And I was also expanding the business quite a bit. So I found this CPA, and she completely understood and gave me more tax strategies. And then I said, this is everything I want to write off. And she said, great. She said, do you have any more?
Again.
That's pretty good, right? I'm not saying that happens every time. But
you had a mix of things.
I had a mix of things, right? So this is what I'm saying. I had been knowing that was the answer, or part of the answer, and laying the foundation for that for 7 years. I've been having the list of everything I know I'm supposed to be able to deduct. It just took finding someone who actually understood that the tax code's written for business owners and investors. H&R Block, great business strategy, but they're not business owners. Right. The accountants that work for them are basically employees. Right. They're not thinking about it in the same way as a business owner. Yeah. They're not experiencing the same benefits.
And you need that mindset too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right? So with this elimination of immediately in the quadrant, the things that I'm bad at and I hate, you start hiring that out, like hiring Nonso, and all of a sudden you have more space and more time for the things that are going to move your business forward. Yeah. And
I look at it as a positive now, because I look at, I know that we're going to talk about the taxes. I sent her my stuff, and now I'm like, I think of Nonso, and I'm like, what a good move. Yeah. I'm like, look at me. Yes. I broke the cycle.
And I want you to keep feeding on that momentum, right? Like, great. What's something else in that quadrant that we can immediately get someone else to take over for you? Because you have so much to give, and your time is your most valuable asset. So how much is your time worth? If you could be making blank dollars an hour, figuratively, with the income from your business, from what you are most skilled at within your business, and yet you're spending an hour doing something that you're not skilled at that could take someone else 20 minutes. Exactly. If you subtract whatever you're going to pay them from what you're actually worth, you're saving money by paying them to do it, because now you have your time back to go make what you're worth.
Trust is everything. And it's also learning how to delegate. Like, even with the house, I had to pull a specific budget to paint, and while I did all the pre-packing myself, because I'm a little OCD like that and I can do that, there was a lot to do with wall repairs, painting, the lawn. Like, I wasn't about to get out there and be like, let me learn a new skill set all of a sudden. So yeah, and I love hiring, you know, like consciously, and everybody that came with such a great energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like is helping me for the purpose of selling this house. They all wish me good luck. So just like with anything, I feel like right now what I'm investing in is this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Trying to line it up, and along the way implement those new people, those new services. So, but I'm open to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to also not overwhelm myself and look at the progress I've made. Like just with the conversation we had last week, you know, it was like I had to wait so long to switch an accountant because I don't want to retell my story. And it's like, no, just, and Nonso was a pleasure to talk to, you know, and I felt confident in her. And it just takes a little bit of an action plan, you know, just a little bit, and then recognizing that you're moving along,
right,
and keep moving them in that direction.
Yeah.
But it's every day. It's consistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's that consistency. It's the discipline and the devotion, right? And I think, you know, your heart, your feminine, your love just oozes out of you. There's no way you're going to lose that by putting a little bit of attention to the masculine, where you can delegate, where you can have the blown out picture of what needs to happen, and then put the people in place to make it happen. You get to do that. And you do it. Like you manage your household, you manage your kids, you managed your marriage, you manage like you have been in the masculine for a long time.
Managed. Yeah.
Right. So now it's about learning how to do it in a sacred, healthy way.
Yes.
So I want to take a moment to really lock that in your body, like to lock the neural pathways of what that feels like in your body. So if you're okay with this, I want you to close your eyes. I'm going to take your tea just so that there's no spillage here. Okay. And I want you to feel in your body where you might have carried this overworked masculine energy in the past. When I say that, when I bring up how you used to manage everything, what sensations do you feel in your body?
It's the pain in the middle of my back.
Okay.
Like my shoulder blades.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to put some attention into that area, and I'm going to ask you to inhale through your nose and feel that air expand right back in here. Feel that breath start to open up all of this fascia and muscle patterns back here. And then what the audience can see, I'm putting my hand right on the pointy part of the bottom of your shoulder blade. Do you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
So on your next exhale, and take as much of an inhale as you want before you do it, on your exhale, I want you to think about these points coming down your back. So looking at you, your shoulder is just completely released. And I didn't say anything about your traps or your shoulder. I said the pointy parts of your shoulder blade. And that's exactly what happens. When you move that part, you move the whole. And that's the anchor point. So now with this expanded sense of your back, of your shoulders, of your ability to carry burden, I want you to sense into your body and notice what comes up, what sensations come up when I talk about having a strategy in place for support and choosing people that you trust to execute your vision. What comes up in your body when I say you have access to the intentional direction that you want this business to flow in. You are both the holder and the shaper of it. What sensations come up when I say those things?
It's kind of a fortitude in my spine. I want to be able to stand stronger.
Great. Stay with the sensation, the fortitude in your spine. And let's take an inhale, and as you exhale, make a vowel sound, whatever vowel sound you want, that allows you to connect even deeper with that fortitude in your spine. Beautiful. I'm going to ask you to do it again, and when you do it again, allow your jaw to relax and allow the sound to really come out as you connect with it in your spine. Beautiful. I can see so much more energy. Literally, I can see it moving through your face as you allow yourself to sink deeper into that and relax your jaw. So let's do one more and allow yourself to feel the fullness of your anchoring. Did you feel how much stronger that was?
Yeah.
So after doing a few breaths like that and really connecting with the power in your spine, how do you feel? Where are you?
I'm unstoppable. When I have my own back.
Yes, you are.
I got me.
Mm-hmm. And if emotions want to come, if tears want to come, words don't have to be the key. You just feel safe to express. How do you feel?
Good.
You look so present. You look so beautiful and strong.
Yeah. We made that pact. At that pact.
You have your back.
Yeah.
And so as you're moving through this next week and you're looking to delegate more and you're doing your quadrant, when it starts to feel all the feelings and you want to, it feels almost safer to be in the feeling of the experience, drop into that spine, drop into that power in your back. Because you always have it.
Mm-hmm.
Always. And you can access the energetics of it a lot quicker when you go through the body. We can know all of it up here, but to actually integrate it, it's through the body.
Wow. I'm excited to use this new tool.
Yay! I'm excited for you, yes!
Always beautiful things download, especially in your presence, Chloé. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being open. It's such a gift to witness it. And thank you for sharing that gift with the audience, because it's really so powerful to get to witness a person going through process. We don't get to see that. We see snippets.
Yeah.
We don't see the sitting with it. We don't see the emotion come up.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful and it's powerful and it's healing, and you are giving a gift of service by being here.
This is also years of work to open my channels, to be able to receive more, because it doesn't come, from just doing things a few times. It's like you really have to go through the process, the rituals, the experiences, the sharing circles. It's been amazing how it's helped me open up. And it's now I can access it differently. I can use it differently. And this is all stuff that wasn't taught to me, by my parents or anybody. And it's something I want to give my children, access to their higher self, to their inner consciousness, and let them reach other heights of this world.
You're going to be, and you already are a beautiful guide in that.
Thank you. And I'm surrounded by so many, knowledgeable, well-knowing people that I'm just, I'm always humbled. I'm humbled by humans, by the divine feminine, just what an interaction can contain, and what can come out of it.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here. I'm going to give you a hug. This was so amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mama.
I love you.
Love you too. And thank you for sharing your gifts with the world, because you're a beautiful light.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Queridas, we made it to one of my favorite parts of each episode, the moment of flow. I love poetry. I love words and rhythm, and how when you mix the two, you get into a beautiful state of flow. And so I want to leave you with that at the end of each episode. So here it is, your moment of flow. The in-between season. The in-between. Not frozen, not yet luscious. Thawing. Passionate blood warms from within, urging me forward, through melted waters to blooming. No idea the final film, and yet each living frame keeps coming together. So I surrender to the beautiful wild. I raise a glass to the unknown, claim it as joy, and melt yesterday into the earth.